The best approach to Qi Gong or Qi Gong for sure is to investigate your teacher, so to investigate the person you're learning from, to see if these methods actually they deliver any kind of result, because there is a big problem nowadays in this field, unfortunately, also in the spiritual field in general. The people tend to imagine a lot. Even some of my students, sometimes after practicing for a couple of months or even less, the first level, sometimes they report things that they are not part of they are not practical. They are just something that they are coming up with because the imagination is quite strong. I don't know if this is due to the fact that reality is not that pleasant sometimes, so we try to find other things and get into it into an imaginative way. But for sure we lose the practicality of the practice. So whether you're learning Qigong from another teacher or whether you're doing Qigong, the first thing that I really encourage people to do is actually to investigate the teacher, not because he dresses in a particular way or moves in a particular way or talks about Qi in a very intellectual way. I could start sharing experiences for me, mine experiences, that will have no point for you. I could say that everything is energy around us, that we are somehow immersed like fish in the water into this empty, mysterious field, and that we can interact with it. But those things will not make any difference in your life unless you practice and you find them out. That's the reason why in the practice of Qigong we have a very particular system that allows to move step by step and to increase first the sensitivity, then to empower the sensations in the body, and then we start to manipulate it and so on. Because it is important that the knowledge that we build about field like this, especially that we cannot verify, let's say objectively, but it's rather a personal experience, it has to be very cautious. We have to move little by little, and that's the reason why it's very important to have a teacher who can verify the experiences and who can tell you that you're moving in the right direction. In fact, in the path of Qigong, the experiences change. We refine the experience of Qi that we have in the body. We increase the intensity to a level that it really becomes something that transforms our life experiences and the way that the body operates. That's why it's very important not to rely too much on the intellectual aspect of the practice. Just practice and find for yourself. Of course, you have to find the right tool, because otherwise you might be wasting decades and years achieving pretty much nothing. Maybe you're doing some nice shape or whatever it is, but you're not really going anywhere else. It's a delicate topic for sure, but I really encourage my students to know this very skeptical approach, even from our own mind. By showing up every day and executing the distractions as best as you can and just watching the result. Then gather data over a period of time, 10 days, 2 weeks. When you see that something repeats itself, then you can go to your teacher, you can ask for verification. It's very easy to jump into some kind of conclusion of seeing lights and whatever it is. It's just, you're just going astray from the path, you're going somewhere else. Certain experiences will be possible and might happen or might not happen. Not everybody is the same, of course. But for sure, keeping the practice practical and having this kind of scientific approach allows us not to waste time, years, money, and resources in what we are doing. That's why I really encourage one simple thing: to practice, as my teacher says, practice and practice. So if you found a tool that you know that it works, whatever it is, whether it is Qigong or it is something else, just apply it and just see the result and use your teacher as a verification tool, not as a guru or as some kind of god power to do the work for you. The role of an instructor is actually to be available, to follow up your needs to clarify things, but for sure the practice is personal. So unless we practice, we can talk about Qi Gong, what to do and what not to do, all these things, and I see lots of mistakes. And this is due to the fact that, as I said at the beginning, it is something we cannot see, but for sure it exists. So people come up with conclusions very easily, and sometimes they feel entitled even to give suggestions to others. But there is one very important thing: the practice of Qi Gong cannot be taught by anybody. In the sense, only the authorized instructors by Shifu Costantino Valente, the creator of the method, like myself for instance, can teach them. If somebody is approaching you saying that he teaches Qi Gong, please make sure that you check whether it is a real instructor or something that or somebody who has learned some things and feels entitled to do so. I hope that can be expiring this path. I hope that whatever you do in your life, that you try to use this approach of skepticism and practicality, because as a tree, we cannot grow high if our roots are not well down into the ground. Otherwise we just might go into whatever kind of illusion and the tree cannot stand itself.